gentlemen, I am John Griffiths, the founder of Verus Property Investments, and this is the Entrepreneur's Journal, Episode 7. And what are we talking about today? Well, I was talking to a potential client. In fact, I was just talking to Jen about a query of his, and on the call, we started talking about weaknesses and how, through our own experience, what we found is our weakness quite often becomes a strength, but not in the conventional way you normally hear. Our weaknesses are our greatest strengths. Well, maybe it is. We'll see. We'll see what you think at the end of the video. But I'm specifically talking about the weaknesses that hit home for you specifically. They're the ones that resonate deeply with yourself and your own being. They're normally tied to your insecurities. That's why you're so sensitive to it. But our weaknesses, our stressors in life, alerts us to the opportunity to develop ourselves, or the realization that you are flawed beyond repair. Now, I know which one of those two options I subscribe to. Not too sure about yourself, but through your actions you will prove one way or the other, or lack of actions. You see, this sensitivity to our weaknesses is a true human power. It's great, it's fantastic, because that increased sensitivity to that particular issue, that particular flaw, is not a mass scale thing. It applies to you specifically, not to everyone else. Now, that weakness that specifically applies to you, your increased sensitivity to it, means that you are more easily able to identify it in all its various forms and subtleties and nuances, wherever it may appear, whether in yourself, in someone else, or just in the world as it is. That increased sensitivity and awareness of that issue then leads you down a fork in the road where you can take two routes. One is you're flawed beyond repair. Oh my god, look at all of these weaknesses of mine. Oh my god, I can't do anything. Or the other route, which is the one that I walk, is the call to adventure. You see, our weaknesses alert you to the opportunity to develop yourself. So your sensitivity, your increased sensitivity, it's not a vice, but a strength over the average individual, as unlike them, you can very easily identify that particular weakness in all its various forms within yourself. Through identifying it, you can then build the strength and resilience needed to overcome it. Now, personally, when I was much younger, I suffered with selective mutism, a severe speech impediment, and just all in all, couldn't speak, didn't want to speak to people, and yeah, it was just difficult. I just made noises rather than using words until I was 6+, just noises instead of words. And it's funny because quite a lot of people would say my ability to speak, my ability to write and so on, is actually my strength. And what I realised is when you have a significant weakness, something that's exceptionally difficult for you but not for other people, that can frustrate you to the point that you apply yourself 10 times as much as the average individual in developing that strength. See, I had a speech therapist that proactively encouraged me to speak and build upon those skills, and enjoyed speaking. Obviously, I'm doing this video now. And because I enjoyed speaking and I wanted to speak, I spent a lot of time focused on developing my skill. Every opportunity I had to publicly speak, I would be the first one up, without a doubt, every single time. Love it, could not get enough. You see, it was acknowledging the profound weakness I had and saying, screw that, I'm not going to let that impact me or hinder my progress. I'm going to prove that through my willpower, I can do whatever I like. I can overcome that. My willpower far exceeds the severity of my weakness within that domain. So through applying so much extra effort than the typical individual, you actually hit a threshold, a turning point eventually, where your weakness on the surface appears to others as a strength. To them, they don't see the underlying weakness, they don't see the underlying anxiety that you deal with, or whatever it may be. They just see on the surface that you do a brilliant job of whatever it is that you are performing at. But deep down, underneath, chances are that weakness probably still hits home very much, and is still very painful and difficult to deal with. But the fact that you have made it into a strength but you have made it a strength in as the way that it's perceived by others, you have proven your ability to continuously overcome that issue and weakness. There may be a time when you struggle for whatever reason. There might be a cocktail of problems happening that stirs it up again to a point where you're just not able to manifest it as a strength. You stumble a wee bit. That's, it's human life. We all have those moments. But what you've done is proven that you can get back up and overcome it, and again, and again. And every time you go and speak, you will deal with that anxiety. You'll have to endure it, but you won't actually allow it to impact you. That's just one example that is more based on my personal experiences. But again, you could see this in wanting to be an artist, a photographer, so many different domains where these weaknesses can pop up and actually lead you to developing strength that far exceeds the severity of that weakness. You see, it is this increased sensitivity to the prevalence of the detrimental potential of such weaknesses that unlocks your human willpower to be able to make that fight into the foundation to propel yourself upwards. Honestly, you can do ridiculous things. Just look through human history. I mean, come on. We actually fly. We go into the sky. Like, being able to sail and develop boats and stuff like that to go around, that it kind of makes sense that we would eventually do that, but actually fly, go to space. There are so many examples of us doing remarkable things that are, that they're not even a miracle. It's not even the right terminology, really, but it's truly a remarkable thing that human beings have been able to do, and you are no different. You, just like every other human being, has limitless potential that you can manifest. We all have weaknesses, and through this openness, through your own willpower, you are able to turn the tide from yourself being degraded by perhaps your psyche, your issues, weaknesses, problems, real life implications, all of that, and instead pivot yourself to being someone that has the willpower to actually manifest real change into the world, whether at a local level or macro level, doesn't matter, except for the fact that you have willpower. If you train that skill and practice, you can develop it to a level that we don't even know what you could reach in all honesty. Now, to reach such levels, it might not be for everyone. We all have to learn where we're comfortable with being at. But the point is that the willpower that you're able to manifest is just truly something to be in awe of, and you can do remarkable things to improve your own quality of life and extend that to the vicinity, to encompass your family, your friends, the wider community on a whole. So that is how you can leverage your weaknesses to actually empower you to greatness, to success, to a life of fulfillment. Now, thank you for listening. John Griffiths of Verus Property Investments. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, but more importantly, I would very much enjoy having an open conversation about these ideas that I've been speaking about and insights I've had from books. And I'm always looking to develop the way that I speak and debate some of my points as well. So please do drop a comment, share your thoughts, share your opinions on what I'm saying, and we can have an open conversation about these kind of things, and it'll be fan-freaking-tastic. Other than that, have a wonderful day, everyone. Many thanks.